Hey everyone, welcome to the Maze Solver. The main idea of the problem is to solve the maze where the princess has to find a path to save the Mario. The problem also asks to print the path of the junction where the princess gets stuck. Let's look at my pseudocode. This was my approach when I had no idea how to solve the problem. According to my pseudocode, my initial approach was to define all the header files and open the main function. Then initialize all the variables and assign the maze. Then prompt the user to enter the entrance and exit point by using printf and scanf. In the main function, define all the necessary things such as specify that the 5s are walls and 0s are the path, so the princess knows what way to go. By creating a loop, the princess will constantly know what the way is. When the princess starts moving and if she faces a point where she can pick a direction, then print that coordinates. Suppose if she chooses a path that leads to a dead end, then the function must bring her back to the junction. In a nutshell, the junction is like a checkpoint. The general idea is to create an algorithm that the princess can constantly use in order to reach the goal. As you can see, I have defined my header files, which are stdio.h, stdbool.h, stdlib.h. I have used stdbool.h because I want to return the value 1 to the function. This is because if suppose the princess travels a path and the path has already been taken, then it will return the value 1 to the function. I have also defined my rows and columns. My rows are set to be 20 and my columns are set to be 22. Now I have created a user defined function which says void print solution, and it prints the solution for the array maze solution, which will be the solution in which the princess travels the path. Now I have defined my for loop as int is equal to I is less than my number of rows, and I plus plus. And then inside the for loop I have another for loop which says for int j is equal to 0 0, j is less than my columns and j plus plus. Then it will print my maze solution. Now I have defined a boolean array maze solution. This function is to solve the maze by checking all the possible directions, which means that if the princess starts as a point, say 1, 3, then it checks if it can move right or left or down or up. So I have defined my int array maze solution. Then I have defined my x, which will be my x coordinate, and y int y, which will be my y coordinate. So now I have defined an if loop. Now I have defined an if loop where it says if x plus 1 is less than r and array maze solution x plus 1 or y is equal to 0, which basically means that if I am at 1, 3, then only my x coordinates are being checked. So my x was initially set to be 1. So x plus 1 will be 2. So it checks if it can move to 2, 3. And if it is 0, then it moves to that block. But if it's 5, it doesn't move. So if it is a 0, it returns the value true to the function. And I did the same for the y-axis moving to the right or to the down. Then I did the same for moving backwards or left and moving down. Then I created my int main void. I tried to open the file using pointer f, and then I tried to open the file pf is equal to pf open, and then I can open the maze.txt and read it. But I couldn't implement all this into my function because when I was trying to implement all this, it actually didn't let me or allow me to do it. It was showing me errors, a lot of errors. So that is why I commented them out. But this is what I worked on. What I was trying to do was I was trying to initialize selector and ask the user to select which maze you want to solve. If my selector is equal to 1, then it solves this maze. But inside my main function I have int x, which is my entrance x coordinate, int y, which is my entrance y coordinate, and ex and ey are my exit coordinates. Now I have defined my array maze solution, and then I have defined my maze which was given to me. Then I use printf and scanf to ask the user to enter the starting point and the exit point. Now I've created predefined function to execute the problem. Array maze solution maze and print solution maze. This function actually do not solve the maze, but they actually print what I have inserted here, because look, array maze solution is solving the maze. My maze is this, and print solution is my maze, which is this. So when the maze is going inside the print solution function, it actually goes in here and actually prints whatever is defined by the maze. You will see what I'm talking about when I display the output. As you can see, this is my output.